I lost my entire life savings in less than an hour. And the worst part, I thought I was protecting it. That money wasn't just sitting in a bank account. It was my retirement, my safety net. Everything I had worked for over the last 30 years. And I handed it over myself. It started with a phone call. The number looked unfamiliar, out of state. Normally, I ignore calls like that, but for some reason, that day, I picked up. "Hello, is this Robert Hayes?" the voice asked. "Yes," I said. "Sir, this is regarding suspicious activity on your bank account." The moment I heard that, everything else faded, because I had heard the stories. Fraud, identity theft, people losing everything overnight. But like most people, I never thought it would happen to me. The man on the phone sounded calm, professional, confident. He knew my name, he knew my bank, and that made it feel real. "There's been an unauthorized transaction," he said. "We need to secure your account immediately." I didn't panic, not right away. I just listened. He explained that someone was trying to access my savings, that they were attempting to move money out of my account, and if we didn't act quickly, I could lose everything. That word stuck with me. Everything. Because I wasn't dealing with a small amount of money. I had spent decades building that account, saving, working, planning for retirement. That money wasn't just numbers, it was my future. So when he told me what to do, I trusted him. He said they needed to verify my identity, that they would move my funds into a secure account temporarily. Looking back now, that should have been the moment I stopped. But in that moment, it didn't feel like a scam. It felt like I was saving my money. He walked me through every step, calm, patient, precise. And the more I followed his instructions, the more I believed I was doing the right thing. Until about an hour later, when the call ended, and I opened my bank account, the balance was gone. I thought I was protecting my money, but I had just given it to someone I would never see again.
For a few seconds, I just stared at the screen. I refreshed the app. Once, twice, same result. $0. My savings account was completely empty. At first, my brain didn't accept it. This had to be a delay, a system error, something temporary, because there was no way that money could just disappear. I checked the transaction history. That's when I saw it. A transfer, a large one. Actually, multiple transfers. Each one moving money out of my account, one after another. My chest tightened because suddenly everything started making sense. That secure account he mentioned? It wasn't secure. It was his. I grabbed my phone and called the number back. No answer. I tried again, straight to voicemail. That calm, confident voice was gone, just like my money. That's when panic hit, real panic. I called my bank immediately. "This is urgent," I said. "My account has been emptied." The representative asked me a few questions, then one question that stopped me cold. "Did you authorize any transfers today?" I hesitated, because technically, I had. I followed instructions from someone who said they were from the bank, I said. There was a pause on the line, and then she said something I'll never forget. "Sir, that was not us." In that moment, everything became real. I hadn't been hacked. I hadn't been robbed in the traditional sense. I had been manipulated. And worse, I had helped it happen. The bank started a fraud report immediately. They told me they would investigate, try to trace the transactions, but their tone was careful, not reassuring. Because once money is transferred like that, especially quickly, it's often already gone. I sat there in silence after the call ended, trying to process what had just happened. An hour, that's all it took. 30 years of saving,
gone in less time than it takes to watch a movie. And the hardest part wasn't just the loss, it was the realization. At no point did I feel like I was doing something wrong. I thought I was being careful, responsible. But the truth was, I had been walked step by step into a trap, and I didn't even see it. I didn't just lose my money. I lost it because I trusted the wrong voice at the worst possible moment. The next few days felt unreal. I kept checking my account, even though I already knew what I would see. Nothing. No money, no reversal, no sign that anything was coming back. The bank followed up with me a few times. They were professional, polite, but their answers didn't change. They were investigating, they were trying to trace the transfers, but there were no guarantees. And deep down, I already understood what that meant. The money was gone. Not misplaced, not delayed. Gone. I started replaying the call in my head, over and over again. Every word, every instruction, every moment I said yes, looking for the exact point where I should have stopped. And the truth is, there wasn't just one moment. There were several. Small red flags, things that didn't feel quite right. But I ignored them. Because the situation felt urgent. Because the voice sounded official. Because I was afraid of losing everything. And ironically, that fear is exactly what made me lose it. A few weeks later, the investigation results came back. The transfers had been routed through multiple accounts, moved quickly, disappeared even faster. Recovery? Unlikely. That word stayed with me. Unlikely. Because it wasn't a no, but it wasn't hope either. It was the kind of answer that prepares you for reality without saying it directly. I had to start over. At 52, that's not something you plan for. Savings gone, retirement plans shaken, and a level of stress I hadn't felt in years. But over time, something else started to happen. I stopped blaming just the scammer and started understanding the situation more clearly. These scams don't work because people are careless. They work because they're designed to feel real. They use urgency, authority, fear, and in the right moment, those things are powerful, stronger than logic, stronger than doubt. If there's one thing I would tell anyone watching this, it's this. No real bank will ever ask you to move your money to protect it. No legitimate call will pressure you to act immediately, and the moment you feel rushed is the moment you need to slow down, because that's exactly where the trap is. I can't change what happened. I can't get those years back, but I can make sure that someone else doesn't make the same mistake. I lost everything in 1 hour, not because I wasn't careful, but because the scam was designed for someone exactly like me. If you got a call saying your bank account was at risk, would you act immediately or double-check first? Because sometimes panic is exactly what scammers rely on. What would you have done in that moment? Leave a comment, and don't forget, like and subscribe to Dollar Confessions for real money stories that matter.